Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Somebody let me know. Hey, Chris, first one in here, huh? Oh, that was from before. Hi, little Wing, catering wench, little Dev, Annabelle, Anita. Can you guys hear me? Let me know that you hear me because I can't hear myself. Let's see. Okay, great. So let's see. I don't know where my mods are. Christy McWhorter, hello. Running Bear. Hey, Tennessee Truth. Okay. Unfortunately, I still have not figured out how to be a professional YouTuber, I guess, because my laptop will not connect to my Wi-Fi, and I can't seem to figure out how to do a share screen. So anyway, I have some very nice pictures of Rose. Thank you, Anita. Some very nice pictures of Rose that Chris has sent me. That haven't been seen on social media. That really gives you a sense of what kind of a person she was. It makes her, I think, more human to see her doing things like sewing and riding her horse. Hi, Betty. Hi, Alpaca Maid. You know what? I would like to. How do I make Alpaca Maid a mod? I need some mods. Okay, so what are we back to doing? Sorry. I got easily distracted. I got a lot of things going on. But anyway, so we're here tonight on the 14th anniversary of Rose Bly going missing from Grantsburg, Wisconsin. And Dryden Wire, which is the local paper, released a little news blurb today. See if I can find it. I'm going to read it. 14th anniversary of Rose Bly's disappearance prompts renewed call for information. Today, August 21st, 2023, is the 14th anniversary of the disappearance of Rose Bly. The Polk County Sheriff's Office is still actively working on this case. Rose went missing from rural northwest Polk County on August 21st, 2009, and has never been seen since that time. Investigators have followed up on hundreds of leads and are still searching for that critical piece of information that will resolve this case. Polk County Sheriff's Office is committed to solving cold cases. If anyone has information on the disappearance of Rose Bly, please call 715-485-8300. Let me put that on a banner. Since I don't seem to have any mods in here. Oh, Chris, you're a mod. Get with it. 485-8300. Sorry, I guess I can't multifunction. Okay. There we go. Might as well put Summers on there too, huh? Okay, let's get back to the comments. How in the world is this case still active? I'd like to know how to work YouTube. I can't for the life of me figure it out, which is really scary because my first bachelor's degree was in computers. But, back then it was a mainframe that literally filled a huge room, took up more room than my apartment. Excuse me, and had to be air conditioned, and we used punch cards. So maybe if YouTube used punch cards, I would be a little more involved in this. So yes, it is still active. They are still getting tips. How hard they're working on them, I cannot say. Get off of that. Okay, so I agree, Alpaca Maid, and I certainly, yes, for Chris. And Chris is going to correct me if I say anything wrong here, because I certainly don't want to put out any incorrect information. However, here we go. Should we get going, Chris? I'm going to talk about how well did... Oh, lips. Thank you. How well did they really look at this case? There's 2 detectives, one in Polk County, which is Andrew Vitalis, and one in Burnett County, which is Julie, because that's where the car was found. Right? Or is it the other way around? I don't know. I'm sorry. You fell asleep. Oh, hi, Wisconsin Mama. I sent you the link. Did you get it? I sent it on your phone. Okay, Carm Burnett, that's what I thought. Okay. So, how well do you think they processed that car? No fingerprints except for the family. What about someone who was actually in the car on the way to a family event the week before? Where were those fingerprints? No, little Dev. Candace will not be joining us. Put it on here because I am not on my phone. Oh my God, if I do that, I'll disconnect myself again. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute, everybody. Let me take care of Wisconsin Mama. Just a second. Hi, Tennessee Truth. Okay, let me see. Where am I? Guests. Am I still here? Oh my God, I did that without disconnecting myself. Well, there. We'll have to take our little victories. Okay, Wisconsin Mama, come on up. Lips, you and Chris are my only mods in here, apparently. Oh, Alpaca Maid, I would love to make you a mod if I could figure out how. Yay!
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you really, really well.
That's good.
Is that your new phone? Oh no, you said you're not on your phone.
You
Hi,
have,
Annabelle.
you have
What?
something on.
I
On the
can.
computer. You're double chatting here.
Holy mackerel! Can I hear you? Oh, Annabella. Okay. That's all right, Chris. You're just in here to correct me if I say something incorrect. Okay, Annabella, great. I think, was it you, Annabelle, that said that this case is like a giant ball of jewelry that we have to peel apart one piece at a time? I thought that's a perfect analogy for both of these cases, Rose and Summer. It's just so full of lies and intrigue, and I don't know, it's hard to get to the bottom of it. So, yes, we are not going to take any nonsense in here this time. Hi, Michelle. Because people complain that I hate to block people or time people out, but last time people watching the replay said it was very distracting to have all the trolls in there. So I guess I'm going to have to. Oh, that wasn't you, Annabelle? Okay. Well, you can take credit for it. Let me see who it was. It was. No, never mind. Okay, let's go on with this. So, oh, good little Deb. So there was, someone in the car the week before with the family going to an event.
Lisa,
Obviously, what? What?
you're double echoing. You're
I'm echoing?
echoing. Yeah,
I am?
every time you say something, it says it again. Yeah, every time you say something, it says it again.
Still?
Oh, maybe I have to exit YouTube. No, you have to exit YouTube app. Nope, better.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
All right. Oh, it was longer than a week, like 3 or 4 weeks. Okay. But when the person got out of the car, I'm assuming they didn't wipe their fingerprints down, right, Chris? They didn't see that. The DNA wasn't actually found inside the car. And here's what makes me think they didn't process it at all. Should I go ahead and say this? I'm going to say this. You know how Rose supposedly was wearing flip-flops, jeans, a white t-shirt, and a green V-neck sweater? She wasn't wearing a green V-neck sweater. The green V-neck sweater was in the car, in the back seat, and it wasn't found until Chris's dad got the car back. Chris found the sweater in the back. So then he turned it into law enforcement. How could you miss a sweater in the back of a car if you're processing it? Yeah. I don't think that they took it seriously right from the very start. I really don't. A lot of the tips were never written down, were never investigated, and I'm sorry that, this is putting it on law enforcement, but let's face it, I don't think they did a very good job. Maybe they're reinvigorated now after the anniversary, but I don't know.
I don't think so. It just doesn't. There's nothing in the newspaper. There's nothing. I mean, it's like her story has died. There's no updates or anything.
This from the night of? Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Okay, so I wish I could share screen. How the hell do I share screen? Because someone tell me how. How darn it. I wish I was better at this.
You'll get better.
Post comment, private chat. No. I don't. Wait. I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Okay, let's look at this. I have some information that I've come by this week. Oh, True Colors, thank you. I'm not on Streamer though. Oh, lip. No, it doesn't. It doesn't give me those kind of options. Wait. A minute. Trying to find my. Where are those pictures? Yeah, I'm using a mobile phone. Okay, so I came in possession of a confidential informant report that was made a few years ago that told what happened to Rose, and this was reported to law enforcement. I'm not going to I'll put a copy of this in my community tab, and I'm also going to put the pictures of Rose in there since I can't share. I'm sorry. But this person told pretty much the same story that everyone that was at the party that night tells. And I know of 3 or 4 people that gave statements that were there that night that did have information of what happened to Rose, firsthand information, and nothing was done. So let me find this. Just give me a second. I'm sorry, I'm so unorganized. But you know what? At least I'm not eating chips, right?
Oh, did you hear me?
No, did you say something? No.
No, because I was eating chips. I just walked in the door from work all day and I'm hungry and I was like, I wonder if I can eat these chips without her hearing me.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, it wasn't a dig at you. It's funny. Okay. I'm just so freaking unorganized. And I don't know why. I did make notes. Okay, I'm going to read this and I'll post it. I have edited out his name, of course, because he's a confidential informant. I don't want him to get killed. Although it seems like pretty much everybody in town knows what happened, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let me. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Complaint, reporting party. I'm not going to read that. Maybe I should edit out case number 2. Hi, Bushwatcher. Okay. I, Chief Larson, and I do not know who that is. But it's not from, no relation to Chris. Oh, maybe. No, it couldn't be Tamara because she's not a chief, is she? Received several text messages after a phone call I received from a subject who wants to remain confidential. Good luck with that. This is already out on the internet and on Facebook, so I'm not revealing confidential information that, isn't readily available if you're looking for it. The first phone call came in on Monday evening around 2200 hours. This was in May 26th, 2021. I was advised by the subject that he knew I was looking for subject number one, and he knew where the subject was staying. The informant was angry that I had not kept these two guys locked up. The informant advised me they were all using meth, and that subject number two had a 2016 Ford White Dually that a woman who was a millionaire gave him. The woman, supposedly a millionaire from Dresser, over a jailer incident. So apparently there was 4 women. Wisconsin Mom, you probably know more about this than I do. There's 4 women that were raped by a jailer, or maybe more than one, that won a huge lawsuit.
Yeah.
Huge lawsuit.
Huge.
So that information checks out. The informant told me that all these methers hang together, and that he also knew Rose Bly was cut up and put in a bottomless peat bog. And you could ask Redacted and Redacted about that. Now, this was actually about some stolen catalytic converters, was the point of this report. But he did put this in there about Rose, and named the people that knew what had happened to her. And this is exactly the same story that everyone that was there that night has told. So he said, I also called Burnett and got a copy of the report from Officer Thew on burglary, and he spoke with Andrew Vitalis, who is Rose's chief detective. So they have this information. I know at least 2 other people that filed confidential informant reports at the time. What did they do with this information? Pete, Anastasia, hello. Not Pete Log, Pete Bog, B-O-G, Bog. It's like a marshy area. Wisconsin Mama, you're being awfully quiet here.
I'm listening. I'm chatting too.
Okay, so I'm going to post this. You can take a look at it, check into it, and from the known facts, there isn't anything in there that is not true. Officer Walk is still involved. He is now the, sheriff? Yes. He's the sheriff, right?
Yes. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm texting and listening to you.
Well, at least you're listening to me half-heartedly, huh?
Yeah.
I had the same question. Can't hear her well. I'm sorry.
It's you.
Okay, can you hear me now? I had to turn it up. Can you hear me now? It's like a Verizon commercial.
You are.
Okay, so also everyone involved. I'm probably going to get in trouble for all this.
Lisa.
What?
It's 14 years.
You're right. This was a drug-related crime.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You're right. I was going to say that, allegedly. According to the people that were there at the drug party, and word on the street is that Rose owed people money. And there is actually proof that she was involved in that. So it's sad. It is sad. It didn't have to happen. However, and the drug world is risky. I mean, look at all the people associated with Don and Candace that turn up dead. you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, isn't there?
Yes. And, drug dealing and manufacturing, um, that's a risky business. Oh,
Yeah.
so I couldn't say which marsh. No, it's a huge area. Would you say hundreds of miles?
Yeah, it's gotta. There's. It would be like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a swamp.
No.
It's like acres and acres and acres. So it's not like, um,
Well, you have just up the road, like you have a whole swamp area, and then you go a little further, I mean, the Hares lived out by Fish Lake, that's all marsh area. You go past Grantsburg out further, and that's more marsh area. There's so much marsh area. It's unbelievable. And Chris knows, Chris knows that am
yeah,
I correct, Chris? It would be trying to find a needle in a haystack.
yeah,
There's
he
just
said
so
that.
much.
Yes, Tennessee Truth. Rose was at a party with these people. Why does Candace have the middle name Rose? Little Dev, her Candy's mother's name was Rosetta, and her mother's name was Candace Core. So they just kind of reused those names. I don't think that's unusual in a family. Maybe not to this extent, but I don't know. Makes it
Yeah.
confusing if you're going to commit crimes, doesn't it? I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Murgatroyd, hello. Yeah. Or can I say this? Maybe send Bullhorn Betty. I mean, she found Gabby Petito's water bottle, didn't she? Or Olivia? Oh, yeah. Perks of living in the Great Lakes region. Yeah. I saw in Kenneth Blythe's. Oh, yeah. Did Chris know she had drug issues? Chris, do you want to say? Maybe let Chris answer that.
Yeah.
He knew she smoked pot. I don't think he knew she was as involved in meth as she was. Yeah, there he answered that. And Kenneth's death notice had listed a Rose Bly. Yes, that is Rose, Little Death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Murgatroyd is a nice person. Okay. I don't understand, okay, what that is. Okay, so where were we? Oh, I was just answering questions. Just because she was involved with drugs, that doesn't mean that her murder doesn't deserve every bit of attention that anyone else's does. I mean, that doesn't reflect on her. She was in with a bad crowd. Her childhood, they grew up very poor, and money was a lure for her. So, which is, I think, the same with any young person that gets caught up in that, drug dealing and whatever. Did the CA say how she died? No. And I have never heard anyone say exactly how she was killed. So I don't know that. I don't even want to guess at that.
No. No. Had Rose ever been arrested before?
She was arrested for domestic violence with that fight with Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only time. Yeah, Anastasia, I hope.
Yeah, I hope
I'm
she doesn't suffer either.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
I
we
I
don't
do
want
too.
anybody. You know, I
That
mean,
that does kind of haunt me to think, did she, at what point did she realize that her friends turned on her? You know what I mean?
right?
That must have been a horrible moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was dealing. I don't know if she was using. I don't know. I've not found any evidence of that. She did use pot. Sometimes meth dealers don't use. I don't know. She
Yeah,
did
some
have, yeah. What?
yeah, some don't use. You know, some will just sell it, but that's kind of a rare thing too. But then again, it's hard to say because you really don't know because it's like you got the top guy and then the top guy got his pigeons flying around and yelling for him, so you just don't know if that person really uses or not.
So these
Usually,
people saying that she was killed because she owed money. Um, you wonder what she did with the money. Maybe she did use some of it. I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. A lot of drug busts around that time. A lot of people that Rose hung out with were arrested for manufacturing, dealing, um, a lot of drug house
a lot
busts
of,
at that time.
yeah, a lot of meth using at that time, a lot. And I
I
when
think
I
someone told me it was like for the first number one county in Wisconsin for a long time for meth use.
yeah,
I don't know. We have an area here in my state, south of here, actually, where Benny came from. That is known for meth manufacturing and usage. Any crimes committed there related to meth, same kind of thing, I think.
yeah,
Um, how can a deceased customer pay her debt? And exactly, how can they? So I think there's more to it. I really do. I think there's another catalyst there that I haven't found yet. Are they 100% certain of Don and Candace whereabouts when Rose went missing? Yeah, they were not in the area. I don't think Don never met Rose. I don't think that
no,
Candace and Don had been in Wisconsin Candace and Don had only been together 2 years at that point.
right.
Um,
So that means when Don said that Candace came to, um, was it Alabama? Where was it
no,
she?
Arkansas, but wait, I'm going to get to that. I have a whole thing about that.
Okay.
So hold up. Why would Rose go to a party that she owed the guys? Possibly she didn't know the guy she owed was going to be there. Just a little meth gathering with her buddies. I can't really answer that. All I can do is guess, like everyone else, because I don't know. And the people that were there have told their story, and I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, but we know a lot more about this case than we do Summers.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I don't know, Murgatroyd. I really think there's more to it than that because there is um, a tie-in with law enforcement there too. that I don't think I'm going to get into right now, but that is what caused the cover up and why I think they didn't investigate, as much as they should have. Funny how Don and Candace are so wrapped up in meth too. They're into crack, actually. They were both on meth. Don was a meth in Utah. Candace was a meth until she had that third baby, and then Candy got her clean off meth. So then they switched to crack. Isn't that like the poor man? I don't know. Is that cheaper? I know it's cheaper than cocaine, but
Well, yeah, you just you go from one addict to a cheaper addict. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know.
yeah, Julie, I do have a
Yeah.
northern and what are we? Midwestern accent. Yes, troublesome part of the state. Alpaca made you know exactly what I'm talking about. How long after Rose disappeared did Grandma move to Tennessee? Oh no, you can ask as many questions as you want. That's what we're here for. Okay, so Rose, shortly after Rose went missing, quite quickly actually, is when Candy bought the trailer in Grantsburg and her camper. She had a settlement from Family Dollar. Is that what that money was from? I know she's still getting payments from that, which is about to end shortly. So a friend of hers tells me.
So can we end a rumor?
What?
Can we end a rumor? Do you want
Sure,
to
what?
end a rumor?
Which rumor do you want to end?
The one where everybody says that there's a closed case that they can't get into about Candy.
Oh yeah, I posted a video about why that's not true.
Okay.
I don't know what Chris McDonough started that with all of Candy's aliases and her violent criminal record against children, whatever.
Right.
None of that was true. She doesn't have any aliases. Candace Bly, Candy Bly, and Candy Hair. That's it.
So
okay, I'm sorry, Tennessee Truth. I got this. So she didn't move to Tennessee. She took the trailer back and forth and spent winter in Wisconsin and summers in Tennessee. And then in 2000, what year was that? 18, wasn't it? That she lost her trailer, or her house in Grantsburg. Wasn't it 2018? And then she stayed primarily in Tennessee, although she did stay with friends occasionally in Grantsburg.
Yeah.
So yeah, she didn't exactly move to Tennessee ever.
Right.
Okay, where are we? Who's kissing lips? That's a cute little thing. Lisa, you've blown a giant hole in this mystery. Don't think that I don't think about that, Murgatroyd, but there's people that know the things I know. What are they going to do? They don't want me to talk about it because I'm going to hurt the prosecution, but I don't see much prosecuting going on, so I don't know. I hope I'm helping by rattling their cage a little, because I think the more that people know and question, hopefully it'll spur them on to do something. I think the correct thing to do is to call up a grand jury and have these people in town that are afraid to talk still to this day and get them on the record and get this case solved. Yeah, Purgatory, I don't think I haven't thought of that. Okay, what happened at Family Dollar? She injured her back, right, or knee. She injured her back in the carnival. She injured her knee at Family Dollar. What?
Or,
Am I'm way
well,
behind again.
yeah. So let's tell. They want to know what happened to her at Family Dollar. She was injured at Family Dollar, and she ended up suing them. Okay, so that's why one of the case. So her payments are almost done though.
Yeah.
So she's been collecting off in Family Dollar for a long time.
Soon to come to an end. Has she ever been involved with meth? No. No. Not that I'm aware of.
No, no.
I can't imagine that she would be involved with meth.
No, no. Maybe, I mean, maybe drinking back in the day, but no, no,
Yeah, no. I
no.
saw that too somewhere today. Um, and I thought, oh my God, what will they think of next? Yeah, that Cotton. Oh, that was a psychic, or I read that. That was the person that's known for wild theories. And she said, yeah, Cotton was dating Candy. The whole thing was just ridiculous. No, absolutely not. No. Didn't he have I guess he'd just gotten divorced before he died, right? I know he had one daughter. Why is it the police chief, when he did that last campaign, never said any? I can't answer that. Alicia? I don't know. I can't answer that. Why do they still say that she was wearing a green V-neck sweater when they know damn well that isn't true? You know what? Why didn't they put out, since her purse and her phones were never found, why didn't they put out a description of her purse and her phones? I mean, those could have been found in a ditch somewhere, or, in somebody's outbuilding, or, and the person wouldn't even know they were associated with the case. Why didn't they do a lot of things? And I know of a couple of tips that were called in that when I talked to them recently, they had no record of those. And there are witnesses to people calling those tips in at the time. So where are those tips?
Right. Well, he can claim all he wants that she went to go meet her cousin. He can. He's a cop. He can say anything he wants. I mean, they're good at it, right?
Yeah. Well, that was the official. That's what they say, is that Rose said that, and she did say that. So that was her story. And her cousin doesn't want to get involved or talk, and I can understand why. Pushing, yes. What about the uncle? Was he close to that location? No, the uncle, they never met him. Uncle Warren, Michelle. None of the family was ever allowed around Warren, and he was incarcerated at that time. I've read or heard that Rose. Yes, Anita, that is true. Unfortunately. He still claims she went to meet her cousin and never showed up. Yeah. I don't think her cousin. I think her cousin's whereabouts that night wasn't she at that birthday party? I keep wanting to call you by your actual real name. I better stop that. Wisconsin.
Where'd you go, Lisa?
Where
are you? Where are you? Come out, wherever you are.
I'm right
here. Yeah.
the cousin that she was supposed to meet up with.
Mm-hmm.
What was my question? I don't know.
I don't know. You guys have no idea how long I have been working. I mean, Lisa, I'm like a walking zombie. I haven't had a day off in over 2 weeks. I'm dead here. I'm dead.
I know I haven't asked you about how your meeting went, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Oh, the cousin, wasn't she at the birthday party? Chris, do you know that? Wasn't she at her uncle's birthday party that night? I know it was that night. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they would put false info out. I think they put out immediately what they had at the time and just never bothered to correct it when they found that was wrong. So maybe they don't need any help. Maybe they already know what happened, but they just need to prove it, and so they don't care of what kind of information is out there. But that's allegedly. Why did Chris McDonough muddy the waters? Why did he muddy the waters with Summer? Is that what you're saying? His thing on Rose, he didn't even know the basic facts of that case.
Oh, and
That
tell him the other thing.
What?
Who didn't want anything to do with him? The Polk
Oh,
County
yeah.
Department didn't want anything to do with Chris McDonough.
Yeah, he tried to nose into that. And they politely declined his participation. So, Leslie Earhart, TBI released 2 statements saying they were not working with Chris McDonough. I know he likes to give that impression.
Yeah.
I don't think she overdosed lips. I guess it's possible, but that's not, the story everyone's telling. I don't know. The mean cousin. I can't say his name. He's so scary. The mean cousin.
The mean cousin.
I don't know who the mean cousin is. Oh, Chris Marcos? No, she was not mean. No, it was a woman.
Oh, Chris is creepy. No, let's not even talk about Chris. No,
yeah,
no.
Marcos is definitely, yes, bad news.
Yeah, he's no. Don't even ask anything about him because you won't get nothing out of me. I won't mention that man's name. No way.
Somebody that sees him and goes in the store told me about him.
Gas station.
Yeah. Well, gas station party store, isn't it?
No, it's gas station.
Oh. She said he always tries to chat people up and make jokes, and she said he's very smarmy. That's the word for him.
Somebody told me here just last week that it's awful for him to be working in there. That she will not even go in there with him there.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He is pretty violent person.
Yeah.
Pretty dangerous person. Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
But he's just this little guy. Somebody could just squash him like that. Just step on him and he'd be gone. But he's a creep. He's worse than a creep. Allegedly.
Well, actually, he has a proven record. So, is there a documentary made about Rose's case? There are a few out there. Someone wrote one on Medium, and I emailed her and told her she had some incorrect information in there, and she blocked me.
Really? Not surprising, Lisa.
But I have had other people that corrected the information, so I don't know. It's hard because, there's a couple of groups on Facebook. The official one was archived by Andrew Vitalis, who's a detective. It got nasty on there. Just people's, rumors and people digging at each other, kind of like some of the summer groups. And it was all nonsense. And, the group was for tips. And so he archived that. But if you weren't around from the beginning, there's so much that was deleted off of there and edited. And, some of us have screenshots of everything that was ever posted on there. But if you go through there now and try to catch up, you would miss half the story. Like, for instance, the lady that says that Rose's sister told her that she killed Rose at a party and her husband covered her mouth. So that party, the sister wasn't even at that party. That party was the year before Rose went missing. So obviously she was still alive at that time. And this person's mother and sister both have posted that that the girl that's saying that just has a beef with Rose's sister because she went out with her boyfriend. So they both said she's a liar. So, if you don't dig into it and find out, I mean, people can say anything they want, right, on social media, and do. Unfortunately. Okay, where?
Yeah,
Candy Hair. Why did he say she had all the aliases? I have no idea. I actually think Chris does not know how to do research. And he's not. I think his son did that for him, and then his son left for college. If you look on Been Verified or something, I did a video about that, about how that works, about how your name gets associated and why you can't trust those. Like if I moved and then someone got a piece of mail that had lived, or I got a piece of mail here that was addressed to me or occupant, then suddenly my name is associated with the person that moved into my apartment. Somebody used an old phone number of mine, but if you run Candy's report, there aren't any aliases on there. So I don't know.
I kind of feel like Rose's case. Let me re-say this. I feel like Summer's case is like Rose's case. Too many people involved in the story. And, well, I don't know.
Bob G, hey, welcome. Tennessee Truth, what? I said his name once and Candace flipped on me. Oh, you're talking about Chris Marcos? Yeah, he's a bad person.
He's a bad person.
Very bad person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not true, Lesia. Okay, I'm trying to get caught up. So Candace goes nuts if no. Alessia, no, he did not essay her when she was young. She never met him. He was actually locked up for the first time in 1984. Candace was born in 1982, so he didn't even have very much time there to meet her. But Candy never let any of the kids anywhere near Warren. Hi, Deborah Ann. Hey, Trouble.
I agree with TNT that it is sad that a documentary hasn't been made for Rose. It's sad that you can't get anybody to talk about Rose. It's even more sad that the family won't talk about Rose. But maybe, part of me feels like maybe it just hurts them too much. Maybe it hurts them too much to talk about her.
I know it does, Candy. No, she's I'm sure today is a very bad day for her.
Oh, I'm sure it is. You know, but justice needs to be served for Rose. You know, and if anybody knows anything, then you should contact the Polk County Police Department in Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. If anybody knows anything, I mean, let's bring this to an end for her and her family, her daughters. You know, it's just. I mean, I've heard of people going up and missing, but never, never around my area. You know, so if you got tips, call them in. Credible
Okay,
tips.
wait. Yes, incredible tips. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, we don't want to. Chris M is yeah. I don't want to. He is another creator, and so I don't want to talk bad about another creator. But I think if anybody does even a little bit of research on him, they'll know what he's about.
Alicia, I agree.
Let's see. Where are we? Don said Candace and Marcus saved her from someone trying to take advantage of her.
No. I hope everybody reads between the lines with him.
Don said, is your first clue that what you're about to say is false. And I am going to talk about that in a minute. Some other things he said. Right, if Candace defends him, he probably never essayed her. Yeah. Marcos was in California when Rose went missing, so you know, he was in jail in Washington State for a while. Yeah, he's been or prison, I guess. Oh, Annabelle, I know it's got states. Well, my stuff isn't on been verified or any of those sites because I'm smarter than that. But yeah, it had me in some places that I've never lived. Hi, Prismo. Glad to see you. It's okay that you're late. Whatever. People just come and go. Not Warren. Okay, where are we? Candy gets triggered immediately. Oh, Tennessee Truth. That would be great if I knew. I can't even share screen, so yeah, I'm not doing a video anytime soon. Although I need some actual equipment and hook up my new router. I think. What's special today? It's Rose's 14th anniversary of the day she went missing. You know, Chris would. Well, I'm not going to volunteer him to help with the documentary, but yeah, people don't understand that those. And now I think it's Truthfinder has recently added a big thing where it says that this information may not be reliable. I mean, you know, that's how Patricia Dean got called PG because PG uses third-party, you know, phone apps like Google Voice. So what those places do is pick up unassigned numbers in different areas. Well, then she gets a different one. That number got assigned to Patricia. People, you can't trace those numbers. I'm telling you. You just can't do it. Pretty cool alias. This one sounded Chinese. Okay, where are we now? Closer to Wisconsin Mama. Okay, so now let's get into
Alpaca Maid. That's really cool.
What? Oh, that she looks
closer to me than you.
Okay, so I went and watched, God help me, the creator who talks to Don now again after betraying him and flipping and then is now flipped back. Calling me a liar and just wanting views. Although I've never seen her have any receipts of her own. But anyway, Don said it's not a receipt. I'm just here to tell you. So, um, so, uh, when they talked about Candy and Don's alleged trip to Wisconsin, which we're still looking into,
No,
trying to get the
yeah,
what?
it's not alleged.
I know, but some people don't
Yeah,
want to believe that happened. So,
both allegedly. Yeah, we better because we'll get dogged and put down, and well, they said this and they said that. We know how to do it. So, all right, allegedly.
okay, so yes. Well, I just made that up for views because I'm a new person. And yeah, I monetized and all that. So yeah, of course I'm lying to get subs. But anyway, so they didn't. When she talked to Don about it, they didn't seem to want to talk about it too much. Did anybody else notice that? Didn't seem like they wanted anybody to dig too deeply into that. So I have had people send me some info about things Don was allegedly missing at the time. And Candy, pretty hard to pin her down to much, actually, through that whole thing. And we know that she did not go to her sister to help her with her brother-in-law. That was a lie, allegedly. Don says it never happened. Oh, my laugh is evil. I'm the least evil person you know. Really. You guys need to fight for police to start. Well, you know what? I'm going to pay him a visit and see if we can. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Okay, so then Don started talking about Rose, right? Don does not know Rose. Rose was really beautiful and she had such a kind heart and she would help anyone. How does Don know that? He doesn't know Rose. He knows what Candace told him. And I kind of doubt that Candace said that because Candace, attacked Rose. She tried to drown Rose in the pool. And then she also hauled off and punched her in the face one time. Rose, of course, got all upset, was crying, and then Candace snapped out of it and said, "What? What happened?" So, make of that what you will. That kind of figures into my... Oh, no, I know, Tennessee Truth, I didn't take it. I did know where Candy's at, but I don't think that matters. I think she deserves her privacy, actually. Not that I'm her best friend or anything, but... And Candace and her were so close. Yeah. Candace and Rose were not close. Okay, so Don said that Rose came to Arkansas to help Candace. Things didn't work out. Rose went home, and then shortly after that, she went missing. You know what? Rose didn't go to Arkansas to help Candace. Rose went to Arkansas before she even met Don for a vacation. There's pictures of her at the waterfall. But the person that came to help Candace and it didn't work out and they went back home was not Rose. Don is confused. Kind of reminds me of, what's that, Crystal Spencer or
Uh-huh.
somebody, one of the Wells meth friends there that actually was thinking Pam Wells and Candy Hare were the same person. I'm like, man, you got to really be whacked out to confuse those two. But she was telling stories about the two of them like they were the same person. Anyway, so Don's got Rose confused with someone else because Rose did not go to Arkansas to help Candace. I know who did. I'm not going to tell who that person is, but yes, it didn't work out. She went home, and then Rose went missing. But you know, you're going to get in trouble. Should I erase that? Erase your comment. You're going to get yourself in trouble.
Who?
Okay, Chris.
Oh. Well, I agree with you, Lips. I
What
agree
did
with
she
you.
say?
She said, wait, if Candace has a history of blacking out during anger bursts, why wouldn't that be a possibility with Summer?
Oh, exactly. That's not a more than one person has told me that
Mm-hmm.
she has these outbursts and then comes out of it and has absolutely no memory of what she did. So she did that with the Rose. I'm wondering if that's what she did with Nate, Margie's husband there in Arkansas. Well, Margie's boyfriend at the time. Candace walks in and punches him in the face. Who knows? Candace, she's violent. There is no two ways about it. Daisy, I'm sorry, but
So, Lips, when I was on another channel, that was the question I asked you. If you would ask Candace if she would agree to being hypnotized by the police. But then again, maybe not, because maybe she doesn't want to remember what happened.
or she's convinced herself that who knows what's in her head. I don't know.
I would not want to be in her head.
No, not at all. Yeah, Chris. I said, Chris, Don's over there talking about how you divorced Rose so quick after she went missing. And yeah, that was funny. Don's like, oh, okay. Well, thanks, buddy, for telling me that. Don doesn't want anybody that actually knows what happened that could call him out on anything. You notice that?
Here's Don. Oh, you my brother-in-law? Dude, why'd you file for a divorce so quick? I mean, you're my brother-in-law? I mean, come on. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, he is.
The anger blackout, I don't know. I think that's dissociative disorder, but apparently it's not. It's not, because it's not really multiple personality disorder. I don't know. Had I not followed Summer's case so hard, I think she was a gentlewoman who liked to drink a little too much. I think Candace was beating people up in grade school. She stabbed her principal with a pencil, for crying out loud.
I think, in my opinion, she has a lot of problems. But right
She
now,
does.
she has found people that love and support her and
Enable her.
enable her and
Send her money.
yeah, we could keep going on and on and on. But, you know, Candace is Candace, and she's going to suck it up and love every bit of it while she can. You know, she's probably getting attention from people she's never had before.
Yeah,
She has a support group out there,
I think you're right.
and she's going with it.
Yep, I think you're right. I think she'd say anything she had to keep that, actually, at this point. That's a good observation. Thanks for bringing that up. Was Candace ever sent off for her behavior? Yes. After Candy left and Candace pulled a knife on her sister and her dad, she was sent to foster care. So he couldn't handle her,
No, he couldn't handle her. He
and
could.
he had two other girls he had to worry about. So, and I think Candace has held that against him this whole time. But I mean, she was violent. You pull a knife on someone, or someone pulls a knife on your child, you're going to remove them from your home, aren't you? I don't think that's that unreasonable, but I'm sure Candace did.
Yeah. I I don't know. I'm not gonna go. Let me get in on this stuff, please. Donate to kids' college fund. You're funny, Chris.
What?
Chris says, let me get in on this stuff.
Oh
Please
yeah, no,
donate
no,
to
no,
college fund. Laugh my ass off. Just joking.
take that off of there. So
No,
she did grow up in foster care. She was 14. Wasn't she 14 then?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
14, I don't know. She was, yeah, she was, she wasn't, um, the other two girls got pawned off on Rosetta at times, but Candace never did. Candy always kept Candace close with her. But then when she took off, Jim just couldn't handle her. And then on one of the trips, Candy was taking her home for a visit, and Candace tried to strangle her with a seatbelt. I mean, what do you do with someone like that? You read about like those kids that people adopt from Russia. They have that attachment disorder, and they're
Mm-hmm.
just uncontrollable. What do you do? What do you do with someone like that? She's never taken her medicine, according to a family member.
Well, I'm just gonna put this out there because I've got nothing to lose by saying this, Um, but word on the street, our streets, is that um, or that Rose had two sisters that weren't very nice to her when she was a child. So call it maybe sisters picking on sisters, whatever you want to call it. But you know, they her other sisters were not nice to Rose when they were kids. So just that's what I'm hearing, and whether it's true, I don't know or not. But maybe when they got older, two sisters finally grew up and got close. I don't know, but
Well,
apparently
no,
Candace was never part of the family.
give Rose credit for calling
Oh yeah,
CPS on Candace for those first two kids.
yeah, yeah,
Because with this next set of kids, not everyone was that
yeah.
conscientious, let's
You're right.
say.
It was a power struggle. I do believe that.
Tennessee truth, that's funny. That wrench is too heavy, Chris. He's hitting himself in the head with it. He better watch it. Candace tried to strangle Candy with a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Jealous. I think the girls were all jealous.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually warranted, but I don't know what. For one thing, their mother went off and left them, so they're all probably fighting for attention or
And broken hearted.
any kind of attention, from anybody. And kids at school picked on them. Yeah, I think they had a sad life. I think they all did. So not ideal, I guess I should say.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I've seen where they lived. I've gone down that road. Um, Imagine your mother leaving you. You know, it's somebody. They're angry. they're mad, they're angry, they're hurt, they're sad. I mean, every emotion must have been going through all their heads. And I mean, all of those girls' heads. You know, a couple of girls probably were able to pull themselves out of it, and one just didn't.
Candace never really had a partner that gave her the support that she was crying for. But then, she's refusing to take her medication and she's self medicating her whole life with drugs and alcohol. So,
Uh,
um,
I
she's been offered help. They've both been offered help.
well, you know how it is. I mean,
Yes.
if
I mean, if
if
they
you want to
haven't,
get fixed, when you're ready, you'll ask for the help. It doesn't matter how many people offer you the help. You
I
have to
know,
be ready.
but how much lower can they get? If this isn't rock bottom, what the hell is?
Rock bottom will be when Don leaves her.
Yeah,
That's when she'll hit a rock bottom.
she will definitely. But I think she'll
Um,
drink herself to death at that point. Yeah, she can't exist without Don. Well, maybe unless, Daisy in the group can pick up. Syncope, Murgatroyd, that's interesting because I actually have suffered from that. And yeah, broke some ribs. I don't, I never punched anybody out though. I just usually fall and break something. Candace did not want to be part of the family. She did not. She left and never went back, basically. You had to search her out if you wanted to see her. Yeah, she didn't go back to Wisconsin.
no, she just
Yes,
left.
mental illness and, yes, addiction, both.
Lips, I agree with everything that you're saying.
Oh,
I
yeah. Lips is
100%.
a smart girl.
Yeah,
Tennessee Truth, you're hilarious.
Chris looks great in blue.
I had to delete my own comment.
Oh,
In one way, I'm glad there hasn't been a lot of media coverage on Rose, at least her children. Yes. I absolutely agree with you. Chris tries to keep a pretty tight rein on their social media. However, they're mid-teens and they do go to friends' houses and Chris is at work and, they're at school and
so, can I ask Chris a question?
you can do whatever you want, babe.
So, hey, Chris, when Rose came up missing, um, how much did you feel like you were being harassed by people and the media? Because, look at the Wells right now. I mean, it's crazy for them. Don't ask me. No, huh?
I'm gonna wait. Does anybody know if Candace or her husband hurt the oldest son that is in a home? Her oldest son is not in a home, and no
Wow.
one beat him with a bat.
I wish that
So
story would just stop.
I know. Who started that? That's not true. He's not in a home. He works, fishes, and collects rocks, and does stuff with his adopted father. It's odd that several of those kids don't have anything to do with their mom. Several of the kids they adopted. I find that interesting. Of course, they, gave him up. They lost him back to the foster system. So, but anyway, no. And yes, Chris, that's a valid comment. I don't know why I'm not posting things up here. You look great in blue, Chris. I just like to give you a hard time. Okay. Was Rose and her sister physically abused as children? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I've heard people make up those stories, but Chris, did Rose ever say she was abused? Not from their dad. No, I've never heard. The other sister never said that she was abused either. She was her dad's favorite. Did Grandis work? I don't like calling her Grandis, but I'll still answer your question, Tennessee Truth. Did Grandis work in the carnival too? Yes, she did. That's how she and Jim met in Tennessee. Texas. Don't anybody make a video about me saying that. Tennessee, please. Texas. They were both in the carnival in Texas, and then got married. Candy had Candace. I think about 11 months after they got married. It wasn't a full year, and then Candace said that hole in her heart, so they came back so they could take her to Mayo.
Maybe
He's
that's
not
why.
at home. He has a job. Candace and Ken had a big. Oh yes, Yes, they did. And Candy and Val had an age gap too. Val was quite a bit older than Candy. Chris was distracted. All right, you two. If you guys go into back chat and start yucking it up, I'm going to take screenshots.
I know you answered, Chris. I read your answer.
But time went by.
TT, sorry, I'm such a distraction, he says. Oh, Lord. Okay, keep going, Lisa.
Okay. Lips. Do you know Candace personally? She talks to her. She's never met her. Yeah, only through phone calls. Did Grandma Candy really used to harass Candy at her third job? Candace. I had heard that at the beginning. I heard that she used to go and harass her. Of course, I don't know that for certain, so we'll just say allegedly. Does that surprise you, Anastasia, to hear that? Hello, Lisa Klockner. Curious. I see that rabbit hole. There's a lot of rabbit holes, trust me. I got some information today. I'm like, why now before I have a chance to check it out? 2 more people named someone possibly involved at the party. So now connect them up. Got to connect that person up and see what's going on. It's just a constant rabbit hole. I'm not even sure it's a rabbit hole. What else is bigger than a rabbit? No, yeah.
I suppose that'd be bad if I said New York City rats.
Oh, those are pretty big, aren't they?
Pretty big.
I remember when I went to New York City, the thing that was the grossest was going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, turning on the light, seeing thousands of roaches scatter in every direction. I don't think you could get away. You can't get away from them. I mean, they're everywhere. But that is gross. I'm sorry. You know, there's a lot of people that have been crucified over the years for their wife's murder. I've never heard of a woman being unfairly accused, but men, you know, are always, it seems like, and some of them go for years, decades, you know, like Chris. And, you know, even if the cops came out and cleared him, people would still say, oh, the husband did it. I see that every day in chats. Oh, the husband did it. Well, what do you know about the case? When I say, what makes you think that? Nobody ever answers me. Oh, good night, little Dove. You have a good night, too. Ooh, I love Kentucky. Tennessee Truth. Kentucky's gorgeous, especially right there by Cincinnati.
I love Kentucky. I love Tennessee too. I hate Wisconsin in the winter. And it's almost here again.
Oh, it's hotter than. I couldn't stand Texas. I'll tell you that. Or
No.
Florida.
Mm-mm. It's going to
It's
be
bad enough here.
horrible this week. It's supposed to be in the triple digits for like 3 days. Yeah. And then in the wintertime, it's like 20, 30 below. Well, blowing winds and too much snow. And yeah. Why are we talking about the weather?
I think I've ever been to Tennessee. Walk on water, you're assuming when it freezes over. Okay, is there any more questions? Or any subjects that we didn't cover?
Hey, Toaster Oven.
Oh, hey, Toaster Oven. Oh, that's right. You had your car broken down in Kingsport.
Well, I'm glad that you got your car fixed anyways. That's a good thing to hear.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing worse than car trouble, is there?
Yeah.
Chris, were you happy? Chris, were you happy? Oh, Alessia, apparently they did. No one seems to know what that was for, although that judge being arrested might have had something to do with it. Candace, Mercedes Blue, thank you. Candace did not work at that laundromat, ever.
No.
And I know exactly who started that rumor, among other things. The Candace pregnancy rumor. Yeah, why doesn't Jody Sue stop it? So Jody Sue supposedly knows every time anybody over there coughs, but she didn't realize Candace was pregnant. And then what about all these other babies Candace is giving away while Don's at work? I mean, Jody Sue never noticed any of those either. Sounds like Candace has been pregnant the whole time she's lived there, and Jody Sue didn't notice.
Yeah. We should be calling her.
I don't know. I'm mad that she put out that picture of Summer naked.
I mean, and all these
Today.
creators out there, all those creators out there sitting backlash all these other creators when they seem to accept what Jody Sue Brown does is acceptable. It's not. Putting these pictures out of Summer like that is not acceptable. It's just not. It's so wrong. If I had had a missing child and all those pictures like that were floating on Facebook that were done up or, changed, I mean, like, I'd be after every creator.
Yeah, that one where they took Summer when she's with Marlena's girl there and took her face and made it all swollen and all bashed in, and oh my God, that's just...
Made her look like she was an old lady.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was horrible what she did to that picture.
Yeah. So somebody has a question. Patrick would like to ask when Don W. met the Blys - Hares, if anyone can pinpoint it.
That, things are so murky there. He met Candace, in 2008?
In Arkansas.
Yes. Now people are he was married to Pam at the time, and she allegedly caught Don and Candace kissing on the porch and then kicked them out. So people say he knew Candy before that. I do not think that's true. And I know Candy did not live in Chicago by John Wayne Gacy's house, and she did not live in Utah ever. So we'll get that out of the way while we're at it. I think they met doing drywall, is how I think Don and Candace met. Because Candace had herself listed as doing drywall back then. And she does know how to do drywall. She's not as good as Don, but she's not too bad. Okay, Mercedes, who said it in Ziggy's chat last night from RJ? He said that Candace worked at the laundromat.
She didn't.
I know, she didn't. I just want to know who said she did.
The question was asked. Oh, you're asking what creator said it. It's not true, you guys. It's not true. She never worked at the laundromat.
Oh, never. Chris is in here? Yeah, Chris is in here. He's got something going with Tennessee Truth.
Yeah.
Now he said they won't have court date till the end of October. I'm sure they have to find a replacement judge or something.
Yeah, that's just my opinion too, is that because that judge messed himself up there, that they have to find a replacement judge. You just can't go in there, and they can't just go in there and say, well, this is your judge because the other judge got in trouble. They have to notify the family that there'll be a different judge. So lucky for them. Not that I'm saying they're gonna behave themselves and do what is right, but
well, Toaster Oven, are you home now? Yeah, I'm glad you were able to get your car fixed. It seems like the newer the car, the more expensive that is too.
You're right, Alicia. That's what they'll do. I mean, look at our creator. Think about who I'm talking about. That actually came up here to get information on Rose. And what did he get? He got a cop car instead. You know, and then he goes back onto YouTube and says a bunch of BS. So, I mean, just because you're a creator doesn't mean that everything is true that you say. Well, my question is, why are they still having family court?
Okay, here's my thought on that. And I think I did a thing on it today, didn't I? I don't know. I did, about the judge. They're trying to, I saw White Boy was going to have Don. I didn't stick around to hear, but it was Don's thoughts on the judge, and I thought, here we go again. The DCS system is so corrupt, and they're making so much money keeping his kids after they kidnapped his boys, and they might have even kidnapped Summer. He wouldn't put it past them. Well, so
I mean, they took what? Out of us.
This judge, you'd almost think that he was Don's best friend, wouldn't you? Here, Don. I don't know how Don can possibly complain about this judge's rulings, because it's been 2 years now. They haven't paid child support. How many times have they been in arrears on child support? Violated the gag order, not complied with the reunification plan at any point during these 2 years, hasn't made any effort to see the boys except for right after they were taken once, and still, they haven't lost their parental rights. So what is Don complaining about? I'm hoping that the new judge just gets on the stick and ends this, because then that'll give Don something to complain about.
Well, if Don would step up to the plate and say, hey, I am a drug addict. Hey, I am an alcoholic. Hey, I need to get myself fixed and cleaned. Then I could see them extending it, the courts extending it, because they have drug courts. And everybody knows that they have everything is there to help these parents get better, to get their kids back, because no court system wants to take away a child from their families. Okay? But they will not put their foot on the curb and say, I'm a drug addict and I need help. They will blame everybody. They have blamed the CPS office for stealing their children, kidnapping their children. I've never heard so much BS in my life out of these two. Until they admit that they are wrong, you will continue to see this behavior out of the both of them. And would that man have the balls to come up here and talk? Do you think he would, Lisa? Do you think Don Wells would have the courage to come up here and tell you or I that he has a drug problem and he needs help? Do you think he would?
Well, I've never known him to tell the truth, so it would probably be after he's sober that he would say he was a drug addict. I'm sorry, I wouldn't believe anything he had to say.
Well,
But no, he's a, I just read something about that, the people who lie. Oh, Scott Peck. And he said that people are evil who always blame someone else for their situation and never take responsibility for anything. And I'd say that's down to a T. Everything is always someone else's fault.
Right. And you know what? If there was proof, if CPS had proof that those kids were being abused, either way, they would have lost them right away. And I mean right away.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, they were definitely neglected. And I do think. But people don't understand, why aren't they charged? Why aren't they charged? It has to rise to a criminal level. It has to put the child's life in danger. So that would be, them getting into drugs, or I know it's, yes, they were neglected and abused, but not to a criminal level. The legal system requires more than just, and I'm sure that DCS, I'm sorry, would have, could possibly have a lawsuit on their hands if they could show that there was some neglect on their part. But I know they were going to the wells. Don did make some changes that they suggested. That at least I know he did. But yeah, not as far as getting off drugs. Thank you, Mercedes. I appreciate that 100%. I try to not have any misinformation, God forbid. And if I did, that would be the breaking news on about 20 channels the next day. I don't know why people keep saying I'm a liar, but when I say name one lie, they say you just said you weren't a liar. That's your first lie. That's what I heard.
Do I believe, in my heart, should those kids go back to their parents? No, they shouldn't. Just because of the mockery that they've done on YouTube. No, I know they don't keep kids over 2 years. But I'm just saying, in my opinion, I don't think that they should get their kids back. Because they can't admit that they're addicts. That would be my reason.
I don't know why people are asking why has it gone on this long, and I can't answer that. I'm sorry, not privy to that information. And after the last court hearing, Don and Candace, as far as I know, have not talked about what happened to anyone. So, and I've asked around, all my pipelines of information are shut down as far as what happens in the court. So
They brought this on themselves.
What?
They brought this on themselves. The Wells did.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Have there been searches of the marsh, Lisa or Chris? They drained Memory Lake. That's been drained twice. As far as searching the marsh, it's not really possible to search that. I don't know how you would search that.
I will, Lisa, I will send you some pictures of what the marsh looks like. And you guys will not believe it. It would be like trying to find one person in Los Angeles or in New York. It's I don't it's a lot. It's a lot.
Hey, Pearson and Pod. No, I don't. They're not going to be getting their kids back. I have been told that they are not getting the kids back. However, what is keeping the court from making the final ruling, I do not know. That's kind of mystified me too.
Lisa, the final ruling could have been August 18th, for all we know.
Could have been, but I don't know. Cher said it wasn't, for all she knows. So,
well,
but then she heard it from Don. So,
no, there you go.
Could she have been working with? No. Blue Jeans and Pearls, no. I'll have to think about that. I'm going to take that back.
Who could have been working with Ellie?
Rose. It's a thought. I'll have to think about it.
I'll have to think about that.
Oh, God. You know, that's what I love about this, is people come up with things like, Kate, you came up with that one, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe. I mean, then you spend a week trying to fit it into what information you already know is true. I don't know. That's interesting. Blue Jeans and Pearls. That is interesting. Thank you for saying that.
No, I agree with you, everybody. I agree with you that the Wells have never taken any steps at all to get their children back. You could not search the marshes around here. I agree with you 100% on that.
I don't know how a marsh. Maybe if you guys Googled a marsh.
It's swampland.
Yeah, it's
swampland, please.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you sink into it. It's not possible to search it. It's just not. Yeah, Google it and see what it looks like and what kind of a landform it is, because it's not possible to. And I mean, where? I mean, that's a huge, massive area. You wouldn't even know where to start, even if you could search.
Lisa, can I say something to the question?
You can say whatever you want.
Maybe she was an informant. Where is that question?
That is wait a minute. Who said that? That was
in Blue Jeans.
Blue Jeans and Pearls.
Blue Jeans and Pearls. I might have to disagree with that a little bit, because Rose would have had to have really, and we don't know, but she had to really been into the drugs and really had to have known a lot of people to be.
Well, but remember what evidence they have. Yeah. That's a lot of information there. It seemed like if she would have turned that over to them, doesn't it?
I agree.
Okay.
If she was, yes, I agree.
Okay. They don't know what we're talking about, but I can't say that right now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with the Wells and the boys. All I know is the boys are in an awesome situation now, and you know, I mean, I don't know why this just popped into my head. Don collecting money to buy them a PlayStation, like seriously, he can't give them anything. The family can't give the boys anything. None of us can. And the family they're with, if they wanted a PlayStation, they already have one. Don's going to buy a used PlayStation for him. What's he going to do with it? That's not where that money went. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, you see Alicia P's comment? The judge, can you see this one? The judge that just got indicated was basically giving the Wells anything they wanted. It's like Don has has in on
Oh yeah.
every official and cop in Tennessee.
I don't think Don has any. I don't know why the judge. Yeah, I don't know why he's upset with the judge, but
Because he doesn't like cops, because he doesn't like to be
yeah,
told
I
what to
don't think
do.
he has an in
He doesn't like
particularly. I mean, I don't think he has any knowledge of anything that anybody would use. I mean, I don't believe, in my opinion, he ever worked for the cartel or went to Mexico. Don's a blowhard. So everything he says is things that he wants to be seen as a big bad high level drug honcho. Yeah. And that's why you're still working drywall. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, come on. If you're running to Mexico for drugs, you're not running your mouth on YouTube or running your mouth to anybody about you're running to Mexico for drugs or you're doing a run. I mean, God, the guy's so stupid.
Hey, Lady R, the serial killer. This was a drug killing. You'll have to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to post a confidential informant report, which is the same story. Several other people have also given in a CI report to the FBI. Yeah, it's not a serial killer. It was friends, acquaintances, I guess. Is that why Rose's friends turned on her?
Could be. Could be.
I don't think she doesn't seem to have had any friends except for the drug gang, because I mean, even the girl that says she's their best friend, she was a drug buddy too. So, other than that, other than drugs, I don't see where she had any friends.
Chris, that's really interesting.
What?
He said that she did have like 200 numbers on her phone.
Well, yeah.
That's
her three phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we know that. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. I'm not. Okay, the serial killer. Did I answer your question, Lady R? Go back and listen to the beginning of this, and I am going to put that confidential informant report there. But, everybody that was at the party that night tells the same story with the same people involved. It was not a serial killer. She was at the party. And
that was just her main phone.
how long after Rose went missing that her car was found? I believe it was 4 or 5 days. And I have heard some rumors about where her car was there during that time, but just rumors. I'm still looking into that.
And
but it
Chrissy,
doesn't.
I think it was 3 days. I think it was 3 days.
Okay, wait. Imagine if Rose is in protective custody. Oh, pieces of her? I think I've heard that. No, she's not in protective custody. I'm getting a headache. Pieces of her. I knew what you meant. Any validity to the Fred Hill account, as it may or may not lend to the unalived guy that no one ever heard of it now. Cave guy powder. Cotton? Are you talking about Cotton Simpson?
Yeah,
Cave guy.
yeah. Cotton.
I am not sure that there is any validity to anything Fred Hill says. I mean, he said he doesn't take drugs, he only smokes pot. Rose Bly was a prostitute on a trailer at 110 Ben Hill.
Yeah, and then Rose was on the hill. He saw her. I mean,
Yeah,
the guy.
talked to her. Yeah, he knew her.
Yeah, he's so this guy. I mean, Fred. Oh, I just what? I just make it and sell it. I don't smoke it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, gee, this guy is so full of BS that I have to sit on the top roof of my house when I listen to him.
I don't.
Drowned.
The only thing I do believe is the backpack with the drugs. And that fits in with Candace dropping off drugs all over town before they called 911. So I do believe that. And was there clothes in there? Was there clothes in there? I have had to think about that. Did Candace put clothes in the backpack that Summer was wearing during this accident? I don't know. I don't know.
Is she setting Fred up?
I don't know. That's an idea too. But on the other hand, his sister, is it, has known about these clothes in the washer for 2 years and has never mentioned it till now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the marsh area called? Is that the Barrens?
Oh, there's so much of it's called. There's so much. One part's the Barrens, the other part is Fish Lake. I mean, I can go on and on and on. There's so much of it that, yeah.
Hi, Jay. So that's Rose went to Arkansas. Why am I echoing?
No.
Rose went to Arkansas in, I don't know, before Dawn. So I would say around 2006, around there. Don't quote me for a fact, but somewhere around there. It was before Dawn was in the picture. Are the boys together or separate? The boys are together and always have been.
Oh yeah, Find Summer's Truth. Yes, there's Fish Lake. You got the Barrens. Up beyond Grantsburg. There's so much more. There's every place you look, there's a swamp or a marsh.
Oh yeah, please do, and check out my community post later. And, it's the same story from everybody. So, and there is some actual physical evidence of Rose being involved with the sale of meth, packaging of meth. So, unfortunately,
Mercedes,
do you know
with you?
What?
Well, you're kind of behind.
I guess I am. Was Rose's officer boyfriend a bad cop and possibly into drugs? That I can't say. I do not know. I don't want to know.
I'm going to say this.
I don't want to get into that because I do kind of worry.
That is an alleged rumor. It's just an alleged rumor. There's no proof that she had a boyfriend that was a cop.
I want to wake up tomorrow.
I'm closer than you are.
Do we know if Candace handed over her second phone? Um, I don't know that. I don't know. No, I don't. I don't know
Yeah,
anything about the phones.
where did the dry drowning story come from? You remember? I don't remember where it
I
came
think
from.
that came from Hunter. But how would Hunter come up with the phrase dry drowning?
I don't know. I don't know.
Fred and Jody are in cahoots. I don't know what Jody's doing at the moment. No,
I think the woman has lost her mind.
she's got a problem there.
A little
Well, then
bit.
her saying that Candace, like they let Summer run around naked all the time. That's why I posted the rest of those pictures. She was in a cute little dress
Mm-hmm.
and walking around, and then she took her dress off, and then after a while she walked around in the diaper. Then she took the diaper off. At no point in any of those pictures, and I have 10 or 12 of them, is anybody even looking at her. So it's not like they sent her out naked with, you know, the kids and I don't know, whoever that guy is that's working with Don. She had clothes on. So, and I can tell you, as a former UPS driver, I can't tell you the amount of kids when I drive up to their houses that their kids are naked outside. Um, Boys, girls, probably up to 6 or 7 years old. I mean, it's not an unusual thing at all.
Well, I will still say this, and I still stand by this, that when she came to Wisconsin with the kids, and Don brought the oldest to Utah, those pictures were fantastic pictures. You could see they were having a good time. You could see the kids were well dressed. They were fed. They weren't dirty. They were happy. They were happy. Would you not agree, Lisa?
Yes, yes.
So what happened? What happened when they went back and Don came back from Utah? Something happened that went into a spiral. I still think something happened when they got back and he got
Something
back.
happened, but
Something happened.
um, no, I don't think it was a hoax or a staged kidnapping. We don't know that CPS was going to take the kids. I don't think they were. Don had whatever they suggested. Don had done. So I don't know. I don't think they were going to take the kids. And why would they just get rid of Summer? And if they were going to do that, they would have gotten the drugs out of the house before that night. They would have taken care of that beforehand. Rose was selling drugs. Rose was involved in selling drugs, or at least kept the records for people. Yeah. Oh, are you kidding, Annabelle? Oh my god,
Oh wow. Way to go, Lisa.
that's awesome. I appreciate everybody that listens, and yeah, it's very respectful tonight. Thank you for that too. Yes, him, the boyfriend, and his cronies. Yes, I believe that. I'm not so sure now, but at the beginning, and I think that the mistakes that were made is what is keeping it from resolution at this time. I heard Abe say it from someone. Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay. I didn't see any RSOs there. Just the Wells family. Was Candace jealous of Rose? I would say yes. I'm not sure why. I think Candace seems to be jealous of everyone, doesn't she?
Well, it might have been because she saw Rose was happy. Rose had a future.
Rose
Yeah.
could have had a future.
Well, I mean, that's what Candace
Yeah,
was seeing.
from what Candace saw, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I agree with you, but they lived an awfully long ways from the road. So it's not like people were just going to be driving by. But yeah, you wouldn't believe the amount of naked kids running around.
Chris.
Which I don't have kids, so it's a little shocking, but I have to get used to it. Yeah, I don't think dry drowning. I don't know. I think that they, yeah, it seemed like he was very under Don's thumb out there, according to what Mary said, if you can believe her. I don't know. That whole thing is another mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why so many clothes? Because that was not taken that day. And I'll die on that hill. That milk photo was not taken the 15th. People saw the picture on her Facebook timeline posted before the 15th. So I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before that. Because he might have. I'm not sure. That whole thing is a mystery too. And does that play into the whole reason for what happened after that? I wish somebody would tell us what the hell happened.
Me too.
I mean, there's no doubt that things went downhill. It's obvious in everything you see.
Mm-hmm.
Chris. Oh. I don't know that was true, Rebecca. I just counted anything Dudley said because, number one, he was paid for his interview.
Well, Chris, they don't want to be honest because they don't want to sit behind bars. Why do people that have nothing to say get involved? Look how many people have gotten involved in Summer's case, but yet not enough people in Rose's case.
Well, people are afraid in Rose's case. Evidently, they're not afraid in Summer's case because they're all talking. If anybody was going to be afraid of being picked off, you'd think it'd be Jody Sue because
Yeah.
Who hasn't she pointed the finger at?
Apparently, she's not afraid of people. I mean, I'm just saying that if I ran my mouth 24/7 like that and said that I knew the Wells, I knew Candace, then the next day I come back and say, oh, no, I didn't know her. And then the next day you're saying something nice about her. And then the next day you're turning on her again. So my question is, why did all her friends turn on her?
Jody Sue?
No, Candace's.
I don't think Candace ever had any friends either.
Yeah.
I mean, she seems to discard. I mean, it's like they wise up to her. And I've had more than one person tell me that she can be very, very charming and convincing and likable when you first meet her. And they had a
Mhm.
lot of help with the house and a lot of people donating, to her teeth and buying household things at the beginning. But one by one, they fell away. And she's still doing that to this day, befriending people and then moving on.
Well, they're
Yes,
users.
Mary was poorly used,
Hmm.
definitely used.
Oh, don't worry, Chris. It's coming. She'll get a hold of your name and she'll put it out there. You just watch.
Um, yeah, I don't know what Tim Mullen's whole deal is. Why is he inserting himself? I did his genealogy. He's not a goat. He's not related to goats. His family came from Ohio. It's kind of interesting. His family, they were a really well-known singing group. He and his brothers and sisters and his mom and dad, they toured Europe. His dad took groups to Europe like 17 times. I mean, I just find that interesting.
So
Who
why do
knew?
you hate him so bad?
Huh?
Candace don't like him. Candace don't like him.
I don't know what he's gaining. What is he getting from it? Is what I don't understand. But
Well,
yeah, he and Don have cooked up a doozy.
yeah, we should probably just tell him, Tim, people don't want to hear from you, Tim. You might as well get off YouTube and go away because nobody wants to hear from you. You're weird. Very weird.
Candace lied to Jenna too, though. And then, Jenna came out and said things and looked like a liar. But that's what you get for trusting either one of them, really.
Well, I believe that she's filling her support group with a bunch of BS too.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, once a con, always a con. Always.
Will
And
and Don. Yeah, I know somebody that talks to Don all the time, she told me, and she likes him.
yeah.
And she said that, he's always so respectful to me. I said, that's a con. He got that in prison. The yes sir, no sir. He says that all the time. Remember when the cops showed up there in the hotel in Arkansas? Yes sir, no sir, yes sir. That's con language.
Yeah.
That's not politeness.
No. Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, hey, Rix. Welcome. We're just about to call it a day, I think. I don't think that he knew Don. I don't know how he would have. But what did happen this summer? Will we ever find out? Will we ever know?
I hope so. I hope that justice is brought for her. She needs to be at peace. But you know what, Lisa? Sometimes I wonder if she isn't still alive.
Summer?
Sometimes I wonder if they don't know. Well, sometimes I wonder if Don does really know where she is.
Good night, Chris.
Good night, Chris.
Um,
Sometimes I just, it confuses you. You know, um, they.
I think he doesn't want people digging into it, so that's why he's trying to convince people to not even look.
Yeah. Oh, Blue, I absolutely agree with you on that one. I mean, cons work great together, don't they?
Oh, I'm missing something.
Right underneath.
I'd have to look. I I think they were German. I don't know. I'd have to look again. But yeah, I guess I didn't look to see. I think they were German or Swiss. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look now. But highly educated people, very religious, way back. Oh, Daisy is a con as well. I think Daisy is very naive.
Yeah.
Thank you, hon. We appreciate it. Anybody can say anything here as long as it's polite, and all ideas are welcome.
See, they wouldn't have been able to sell her. They didn't sell her.
No.
Mm-mm. If they sold
Well,
her,
I just think the fact that they scrambled to hide the drugs after she went missing proves that they did not plan for her to go missing.
right.
And I don't think you can ever convince me otherwise.
Oh, they'd
have to be idiots to have her disappear and then try to hide the drugs.
But I mean, I know people have staged their kids' own kidnapping, but if Summer had been sold, there would have been some kind of a money trail. There would have been some kind of money trail. Do you agree, Lisa?
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Just FYI, Don, I work my ass off every day too. And I'm a hard worker too. My gosh, everybody works, Don. You're not the only one. Everybody pays bills, Don, just like you.
Anything's possible. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name. Is that Irish? Ain? It's possible. I don't think that they knew. And I don't know who would have taken her. We ruled out Clyda Trent, Sonia, anybody that, Robin. I don't know who would have taken her. I don't think if somebody took her, I don't think it was someone they knew. I don't know.
As Daisy puts it, there's so much more that she knows, but she can't say. So we all don't know what happened that whole day.
Oh, yes, Ain. That's a nice name. I'm Irish, too. McNerney. What about Dudley? I just count Dudley. I don't believe Dudley. So I can't speak to that.
So Lisa, I have not to distract you or anything, but let's go. I know this is about Rose, but there's one question I just wanted to ask real quick. At the horse pond, what about those people saying that the truck was there all day?
Don't believe it a bit. It obviously wasn't, because it was obviously seen at different places, in the drive-thru at Walgreens twice. I mean, they were all over town. I think it was another truck, or they were just, they had the kids' horse camp, so she was busy.
Yeah.
Or was it just somebody that, sometimes people make stuff up just to get a little attention. Yeah. And that's the category that I put that in. Because I don't believe for a minute that truck was there all day.
Oh, I agree with you, Blue. You can't be a regurgitator. You just can't. She does. And that's fine. That's her channel,
Oh, yes. Daisy, I don't think she knows how to do research. And, it's a good thing, too, because, like I always say, if you don't know how to do research, you shouldn't be doing it.
Lady R, I agree with you. I believe Deadly had nothing to do with it.
Oh
I
no,
just
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he did either. No.
no. I don't.
Um. Okay, chapstick. After Summer went missing, there's that 3 hours missing there. What happened was Candace called Don. Don told Candace to hide the drugs. So Candace took drugs over to Fred's, at least, and I don't. ELP seems to think she dropped off drugs in more than one place, but I do know she did take them over to Fred's, and Chad Arnold saw her because he lived down by the road. And then later on, Don went back over there to get the drugs back, and he was pissed off because Fred wouldn't give them back. But no surprise there. Of course, Fred doesn't use drugs, though, so what was he going to do with them?
Right, right.
So if they were going to get rid of Summer or do something on purpose or sell her, they would have gotten rid of the drugs long before that. They wouldn't have been frantically trying to scrub the place of anything illegal before they called 911, which is what they were doing. I think that's why Don went down to the shed as soon as he got home, make sure she cleaned everything out.
Yeah. And he still won't
Allegedly.
answer that question.
Allegedly. However, they were both seen over there at those times by other people, so that's confirmed. No, I don't think Dudley would hurt a kid. Yeah. Has it been proven she was hiding drugs? I've heard that from more than one person. And even Candace has said she did it. So
Blue, I think that was recorded. What about people seeing Candace walking out of the woods? Was that the video you're talking about when it was raining and she came walking out of the woods?
where am I seeing this? What about I don't know what that, I didn't pay attention to that. I do know that Chad, that whole Skyline News, Chad Nesbitt, that was all a hoax. The satellite pictures, entirely faked. That was. And I still haven't, I am going to do a video about that. I got a lot of information about him, and that was not true. That's not how that works. He made that up. It's not the first time either. Three states you've never been to? Candace told someone. Yes. As well as a couple of other people. But, there you go. Candace said. I try to put together what I hear from more than one source, kind of like doing genealogy. You find as many sources of that little tidbit of information as you can, and then you decide what weight to give each person. I do believe that, and known facts do line up with that. She did tell someone that she did that too, so for what that's worth. Mercedes, she was drunk that day. All day. And that came from a family member who'd been talking with her. She's throwing up. She wasn't digging. Oh, Lady R, we 100% agree. He is a dyed-in-the-wool con. Through and through. But he sure got a lot of people believing his bullshit, doesn't he? I'm not going to say that, Diamond Girl. Sorry. All I can say is that story matches up with witnesses and other things. So, do I have proof? No, but I do believe that to be the truth. Because it does bear out. I haven't found anything that contradicts it, and people saw them over there. This backpack's full of drugs is kind of intriguing, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of a sudden, we got people crawling out of the woodwork. Fred's sister, Fred's girlfriend, Fred.
Yeah. Like a winter wonderland.
Scared. The guys all look like Don.
So
Yeah. One of the rumors was that you were having an affair with Candace, Chris.
Well, no, Chris. The rumors were that you were having an affair with both
No.
sisters.
Don't go there.
Well, he already knows that.
What?
That's been there forever.
No. We don't want to talk about that person.
But it's not true.
What are you saying wow rakes for? He sure does crazy to me. He is a nutcase. You sure gotta let people believe in that crap, though. You know what? I left that's part of my expose on him. I left him on his Facebook page, his business page. I left him a review about what a con and a hoax it is, and how that was all faked and everything, and how I did not recommend him. I gave it 1 star, whatever. So I wouldn't have noticed, but someone tagged me later. He changes all those reviews to recommend.
Who are you talking about?
Chad Nesbitt, Skyline News, American Recovery Project, the one that said he had satellite pictures of 4 people going in the woods and 3 coming out or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I had written that company.
American Recovery Project?
Yeah.
He started that shortly before started that. And he's running it out of his grandfather's abandoned building.
Mm.
The whole thing is a joke. Satellite pictures do not work like that. Sorry. Yeah, the whole thing was, he made it up.
That's why he didn't have much to say to me. The blankets.
Dad?
Yeah.
We'll give him a negative review and watch him turn it to recommended. That right there shows you how fake he is.
Lady R, I agree with you. I think Candace is really pretty when she's cleaned up.
I do too.
Yes.
Toaster said that too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, she does. And Dr. Phil afterwards with her hair done, and oh yeah, she looked very nice, didn't she?
Yeah.
QAnon light. I know. There's a lot of that going around YouTube, isn't there? Not all of it light either. The sad thing is we're never going to know, because she's never going to be without Don, ever. They are so bonded.
She doesn't seem, it's just my opinion, it just doesn't seem like she has the ability to be an adult.
I think her mental capacity is not, She's got some, she's had some challenges in life. She definitely needs some anger management classes, but I don't think she's big in classes.
That's called.
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I've heard people call it trauma bond.
It's interesting.
Yeah, they did have fun colors. I'd like to think that Summer did have some fun times in her life, and I think she did.
I think
There's pictures of her with, her dolls, and she had cute little clothes and tons of shoes and so many little dresses. I always love dresses too.
Chris.
What's he saying? All right.
I'm not saying that, Chris, because I don't want Lisa to yell at me. But yet I'm still single, he says. Oh, that's funny. Oh.
Oh, Don. We don't want to get into what I think of Don. Don's got the weight of the world on him. But Candace I can't believe her liver can hold up too much longer. She's so bloated.
Yeah, she's really bloated. What is going on there?
Her liver's failing. And Miss Daisy, her best friend, the RN, apparently hasn't noticed that yet.
I don't care if Daisy is her friend. I don't care about all that, but I mean, like, if Daisy is her best friend, then Daisy should probably say, "You're not looking so good." Yeah, maybe someday she will leave,
But you have to have a support system in place, because I've been in more than one abusive relationship, and it is not that easy, even if you do want to go, and she doesn't want to go. But who's her support system? I guess she has Daisy, but does Daisy realize the work that would take?
I think so.
I think she's I think she's more likely to leave Don if there's another man there, like Ernie.
DV is hard to get out of. I mean, she needs more than just women to support her, though. She needs actual help. I mean, big time help. If shows his face, we all might fall in love.
Okay, Chris, I'm dropping you a link, Chris.
I'm already in love.
Okay, Chris, we're gonna make YouTube's name here. Where's the Timberfell Lodge?
Where's what?
She said, "Let me book you a trip to the Timberfell Lodge." I don't know what that is.
Oh.
It must be I don't know. Wait. I think Daisy and company guilt trip Candace through God crap. Daisy, have you heard her swear?
Oh, she was swearing tonight. Oh, is she a cussing tonight?
I got a mouth that rivals PG's as far as I can see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, I cuss like a sailor. I really do, but I don't care. But don't preach the Bible and preach God to me when you're over there cussing up, a storm like that. We're human, but whatever. It's her channel. I don't care. I mean, I don't. I mean, if you're gullible, if you're a true so-called Christian, you would not, if you're a true Christian, you would not support a woman up there cussing and swearing and screaming. And, you know, I just honestly, Lisa, I just don't care what she does over there. I just don't.
Okay, no, I don't want to talk about creators on here.
I don't either. Okay. Candace back on the hill?
I've heard of I don't know, 2 years is really stretching it, but I've heard of them tracking people in cars for a couple of miles even. I don't understand why they couldn't get a scent on her, which, think about what that tells you. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
None of Candace's friends. Well, I don't think they're not actually friends, Lydia. They're just fair weather friends. I mean, does she have any friends from before Summer went missing? These are all Johnny come latelys, as far as I can see. Is Candace back on the hill? That I cannot answer. Is last I knew she was at Daisy's, but Don, isn't Don still working in Virginia?
No,
I don't know.
he has to stay in Tennessee. He can't leave the state.
He's been working in Virginia. They've been posting videos of him working in Virginia or West Virginia, whatever's by there.
According to the creator today, that he cannot leave Tennessee because so many people are calling his PO officer, and the PO officer told him he had to come back and stay in Tennessee, aka the farm lady. Today, that he still has his job in Virginia, but he can't work it. He has to stay in Tennessee because so many people keep calling his PO officer.
I saw people talking about calling his PO. What the hell? Mind your own business.
Exactly.
Whatever happened to not going real life? Yeah. Candace was at a concert with Daisy. Where they are? Was Upchurch in the area? He's getting sued for who's suing who now?
I don't know. I thought he was
Mel is suing Upchurch for $4.5 million. I didn't see what about it, but
Cadaver dogs follow the scent of a cadaver.
Well, but they have to. I mean, if they're going to be in a graveyard, there's a hell of a lot of cadavers there. They have to have something to distinguish what cadaver they're looking for.
Do you think do you think that's true? That Summer's clothes were out in the yard?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any way of knowing that. I've heard people say that.
That doesn't make sense. That makes no sense. I mean, I'm not saying they weren't. I mean, I'm not saying they were, and I'm not saying they weren't, but it makes no sense that the cops would leave her clothes laying in the yard. I'm sorry, I'm getting off here. Go ahead, Lisa.
You mean you're getting...
I'm just getting sidetracked. It's 10:30. I think I need to go to bed.
11:30 here. Yeah, I got more medical tests again tomorrow. Speaking of pincushions.
Yeah. Again.
Oh, well. All right, any...
Hey, Blue, I don't. I don't.
You know, she is an RN. That is a fact. Other than that, I don't know. Everybody's a liar. Jody Sue's a liar. Fred's a liar. Candace and Don are liars. Candy's a liar.
I mean,
Dudley's a liar.
Pants on fire. Well, I'm serious. I mean, has anybody told the truth? How would TBI track her if she was buried in one of the graveyards around there? Well, I'm understanding the dogs can smell so far down.
Yeah, they can, but they can smell through concrete too. The problem is if you're in a graveyard. Did you see, and I know people are going to think this is ridiculous. I have a hard time believing it too, but those dowsing rods, I have, an article where they can use those to find human remains that have been underground for decades. I know it sounds unbelievable, and I'm the kind of person that has to dig into everything because I take nothing at face value. And I swear to God, I can't say I know how it works, but apparently it does. I don't understand that. Maybe Ziggy will be doing that next with hers.
Boy. I don't even want to get into that mess with all them over there. They're all, they're just about drama.
I'm sorry, Lady R.
Where is she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
broke.
Yeah.
I broke up with my ex in 2005, and I haven't gotten over that yet. That was a bad relationship.
Mm.
Every time I get the urge, I get another cat. Okay, in the USA, if you have any evidence taken by an investigation, do you not have any idea? Yes, you have they give you a search warrant when they search, which tells you what they're looking for. And if they find something that they want that's not in the search warrant, they cannot take it. And then when they get done, they give you what's called a return of service, which is what they took. So you absolutely know everything they took. Absolutely. Well,
Well, in my opinion, I believe that Rose's case was not. Yeah, I saw that. I believe that Rose's case wasn't. I don't think that the police really knew. I don't think that they. How do I want to put it? I. I don't think they really knew how to do a missing persons investigation.
I think that it was tainted from the start, that they didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
And then they didn't dig
Right.
like they should have. I mean, seriously, how well could they have processed that car if they missed a piece of clothing?
Well, that's just it. And I thought that the car was cleaned, wiped down.
Yeah. Everybody thinks that. And apparently that's not the truth. You have to live a minimalist life. Hey, toaster oven, have I got the guy for you? I think Cam is living in a van right now.
Are you serious? Did you just offer her Cam? Oh, yeah. Toaster oven's better than that.
I don't know her. But he is living a minimalist life in a van, so. Oh, yes. Chris likes to hunt. Good thing is girls like to do it too.
He's way too young, she says.
Oh.
Would have seen any
unearthed ground. Well, and not only that, they had the heat. What are those drones that can see the colors? So if there was a body out there, I mean, even if a bear took her, I mean, it would have shown the bear too. So, that nothing showed up on that either. Where did Candace go when she left twice? I'm assuming those are 2 times she drove, because the house on the corner is the one with the camera. So you'd have to come and go out of Ben Hill Drive. She went to the church. For what reason, I do not know. I don't know. There's a lot of unaccounted for time. And where else do you know that the cops wouldn't help you, encourage you to pin down 3 missing hours in your alibi.
Exactly.
Kind of unusual, in my opinion.
Yeah. Don't you? Now you're talking my language.
Where the doobies is his wife and kids? Whose wife and kids? Uh-oh, I'm missing.
Well, don't see. To me, what's unbelievable about this case with Summer is that you have two grown adults at that house and three children, you know, and all them dogs. It's how is it not? How is it possible for somebody to gotten up there and take her without the dogs alerting? I mean, could it have been that the dogs were barking and Candace didn't even like care to go out and look?
Thank you, Prismo. Appreciate it.
Uh,
Um, well, Candy did say when we came out from the nap, right? So who's we?
yeah, who was the we? We.
I mean, were she and Candace in there napping, and for how long?
Well, that's what I agree with you, Alicia. I
Me
agree
too.
100% that she wasn't taken.
I don't know. People are coming up with these fantastical tales of what could have happened. And things are simpler. I mean, sometimes the most logical explanation is the right one.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have everything we need right there. I don't think we have to imagine some huge nationwide
No.
trafficking ring. I'm sorry. I just don't think that's the case here.
I know that Lisa and I have gone through just for what every theory we could think of.
Good night, Prismo.
It all comes right back to the house. It just all comes right back to on top of the hill.
Yeah. I think it's, yeah. I mean, look at when Kylie Rodney, now this is going to have people telling, coming at me, but I mean, a drunk 16-year-old in a dark, unlit area. I mean, the most likely thing was that she drove into the water, right? Which turned out to be what happened. I mean, Carly Russell. I mean, who didn't know that was fake? Or at least suspect it was fake right at the beginning. Some things just scream out to you that they're a certain way, I guess. Unless you're Reverend Donna.
Yeah.
I can't say her without laughing, sorry. The solar drones, the cemetery, they go by heat, so they show up red areas where there's heat. They will show up decaying vegetation occasionally too. They had some specialized. I thought it could even see colors, couldn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, in the cemetery, that I don't think that would have hit any hot spots there because, I mean, if there was a dead deer somewhere that was decaying, that would show up. What? But I think Don was possibly involved that time the first daughter Candace had was missing. Oh, no, No, she ran away from the foster home with another girl. and then was hiding at a friend's house. He actually went to prison for custodial interference for trying to help them out. But no, she wasn't really missing. Candace Jean you're talking about. I don't know, Ain. I don't know. I do not know. Unless, Candace freaked out, punched Summer in the face, which seems to be her favorite target, broke her neck. She could have snapped her neck. And then when she came out of it, that was the scream. There wouldn't necessarily be any blood. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Just brainstorming. I have no idea. I still say if she walked out of the woods tomorrow, I would not be surprised. We literally don't know anything. Anything. Well,
That was
Kate, you suggested that maybe Candace wasn't home at the time. I don't know. I wish there was some way we could find out more things. In Rose's case, people know and they'll talk behind the scenes, bit by bit. But with Summer, there's nothing. There's just nothing. I don't think unless Candace talks, we'll never know.
No, and here's the thing. If she did anything, she probably doesn't remember.
Yeah.
She probably don't even know. I mean, that to me would be really one of the most logical scenarios here.
I don't know, Chris. You're half right there. No, I'm getting back at you.
Toast Irvin says, LOL, Chris. Let's see, I know Prayer Garden is single. No, Toaster, no.
My cat just levitated and I had to bite the heel of my hand. And she has young children too, so your girls can babysit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sure she puts her
no, they are working on Rose's case continuously, Mercedes. He'll pass. Oh, Mercedes, that's fine. That's what we do here. Brainstorm, throw stuff out. That's the way true crime should be. That's an old group I was in. We'd work up our theory, and then we'd post it, and people would pick it apart, show us where we went wrong, what the flaws were, and then so we to have anybody point out any flaws these days for some reason. They're invested in their theory, I think. So what?
Lisa, where'd you go? There you are. You're better.
I'm here.
You're dragging.
Okay, time to go.
No, you were dragging. Your voice was...
No, I know, but it's time to go. Chris has got to go to work tomorrow. And apparently he's having too good of a time here to go. Send him to bed because he's...
No.
Oh. Has Candace maintained no. Maintained an ongoing relationship with her nieces? No. Didn't Chris, maybe you want to answer that. I think Candace asked to see the girls just before Summer went missing. If I'm not misremembering. Go ahead, Benny, make fun of me there. I know, Chris.
Chris, always I'm there too, you know.
Um, and no, uh, Candy cannot see the girls, and that was Chris's choice. Well, it was Candy's choice. Chris wanted her to be involved in the girls' lives, and she chose not to do that.
I know, as a grandma, who would not want to be involved in their grandchildren's lives? I mean, I would just
Especially your adored missing daughter's children.
Yeah, yeah. I don't understand it. And
No,
I never will. Even if she sat down and explained it to me, I still wouldn't understand it.
I don't think, yes. 5 to 7 years old. Yeah, it's no. And that's what I've pointed out to people too. I've never seen Winnie the Pooh anything around summer ever. I think people are reaching, in my opinion. What does he think of Don and Candace?
Has a question.
I know that because he's never met Don or Candace, so. Oh, I'll tell you, those girls are well looked after. Chris has done a great job with them. And, does a lot of things with them. And it's going to go broke this weekend buying school clothes. Okay, I think we're about done. It's almost 3 hours, and nobody's going to listen to this on a replay now.
Yeah, I'm going to hop off here.
Yeah.
It's late, and I got to get up really early.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for being here. Night. Thanks for the respectful chat, everybody. I think it went really well. And thanks, Chris, for being here the whole time. Okay. Night, everybody.